Welcome back to the second video in this series. In this video we're going to have an in-depth look at the tactics and strategies of Slime Climb. Slime Climb is considered the most difficult and one of the most punishing game modes here, because not only are you having to tackle the map that is trying to hinder your progress, you're also racing against the clock. The floor is rising and it will eliminate you if you fall off. Before the race starts, you need to take into consideration two things. The first is that which round of the game are you in, because if this is your first round, then the game is a race against everybody else and you need to play more risky in order to win, because only a certain number of people can qualify. If this is the second game or third game or fourth game, the qualifying amount of people is actually everybody. It will allow everybody through. Therefore, in this case, you can wait, the others can move out your way, and you can take your time to complete the race carefully. The second thing to think about is your position in the starting pack. If you find yourself at the front, it is always a better plan to try and get ahead and to give yourself the space to freely maneuver the obstacles. That being said, we're going to tackle the course and go through each obstacle, giving you the tools to navigate them. Now, I bet you're thinking that the first obstacle in this game are the three barriers, but it's not. The first obstacle is this little bend, and this is the most important part of the course. You can make mistakes anywhere along the course and you will be punished, but how you tackle this bend controls your entire game. This bend sets your position in the pack for the rest of the course. The better you do in this bend, the further in front you will be, and therefore the higher chance you have of completing the course early. So, when you start, you need to get to this point in as straight of a line as possible. Once you're here, you have three options. 1. Jumping on the trampoline, quite risky and unpredictable, but gives you the best shortcut. Jumping the corner. This is very low risk and my most commonly used path. And the third option is just to run around. This is a trade-off, you're losing time over position. But if you're in the second or the third round in your game, then it doesn't matter. We'll start talking about the second obstacle from the end, as if you took the long path. This is a very straightforward task. Run to the far side without getting knocked off. The further you stay on the right hand side will give you the largest gap to run past, but get too close, get hit by other players and you can fall off. Timing is everything. Now, if you're lucky enough to do the trampolines and to bounce off one and land on top of the barriers, you can even jump to the next layer and grab the wall to pull yourself up, skipping the whole next corner. This isn't a play that I would ever go for. It's very unpredictable, it's very hard to pull off, and I've only ever seen it done a few times, but now you know it's possible. Obstacle number 3, the ball. The strat is to pick a side and to stick to it to get up. This will avoid all the balls unless other people hit into them and therefore change their direction. Once you're near the top, you have two choices. Take the long, slow corner around, definitely the more consistent. The other is to skip the corner and jump straight onto the first barrier's platform. The key to success on these barriers is just the same as the previous one. This corner can be cut. You can jump onto the first treadmill, ignoring the first pink kebab. The play here is for you to stick to the far right or the far left of the kebabs. If you stay on the right and make a mistake, your consequences will be less severe. But because the way the treadmills are going, it takes some time to get up to the right anyway, potentially losing yourself positions. If you have the time, choose this. If you're needing to gain places, or you have a decent amount of trust in your ability, then stay on the left. The consequences for this are huge. If you fall off, you're setting yourself back an entire obstacle. In my experience, the best way is to do both. The first 3 I stay on the left and I try to work my way right as much as possible, and then for the last 2, because of their speed, I stay on the right. This corner here can also be cut, but because of the treadmills and your inability to gain speed, it's probably the most risky shortcut in the game. If you fall off, you're going down the treadmill. Next up we have the balance beams. These come up in a few different races and I'm sure you have a fair grasp of how they work. Stick as close to the center as possible. The corner here again is cuttable but with slight more risk. Hitting the wall will make you off balance, and if you don't make it, you're going back to the start of the treadmills. That consequence is why I don't even try, and even if you do make it, the proximity to the first hammer it's too much risk. So the 7th obstacle are these spinning hammers. There are 2 very easy and consistent paths, here and here. The first will give you the straightest line to the far side, and it is the easiest to keep speed up. The second is slightly slower, but because it's far from the left hand drop, it is the safer. The corner is cuttable, and if you have momentum, you use the second path to cut it. The barriers again are the same, but the space between these is smaller, and these ones are a fair bit faster and more inconsistent. Now, these last 2 we're going to group together. Here, momentum is your friend, as your ability to accelerate again is hindered by the slime. This is the reason I don't cut the corner here. It allows you to line yourself up. Lining yourself up for the correct path will give you the ability to go through all 5 of these pink kebabs, and again, when I get to the pendulums, I will stop. I will line myself up for the last 2 pendulums, going straight to the finish line. And there you go, an in-depth guide on Slime Climb. For those who have made it this far in my video, I'd like to share something that has made Slime Climb my favourite map so far. I said at the start that if this is the 2nd or the 3rd round, then everybody has the potential to qualify. This means that everyone here will get in if they're good enough, and that just won't do. Me and my friends want those juicy crowns for ourselves, and we will do anything to get them. I really hope you enjoyed this video as much as I enjoy making them. Please leave some feedback in the comments, and thank you for watching.